Okay, this video I talk about InBody report interpretation. This is about these 3 pages report from InBody 970. Because InBody there are many models. Most of the model you see in gym or blood test center is 270, 370 or even 570. So they only usually have 1 page. But this model 970 contains 3 pages, which is quite comprehensive. So many people look at this report and then they feel bizarre, and then they kind of find hard to interpret it. So this video is to help you to go through this report and make you easier for you to understand what does it mean. So for information, there are 3 pages in this report. The first page is about your muscle and fat, which is about your fitness. The second page about the body water, water distribution in your body, or in another way, it tells us about the internal environment of your body. So the last one is cellular health, means the state of your health. The health of your cells in the body. It tells something about, which is correlated to explain why you can grow muscle or why you cannot lose weight. So combining these 3 pages, you have a better understanding of your body. So without further ado, let's look at the first page, which I will spend most of my time on explaining. So then the first corner on the right hand side, on the upper corner, you will see a score. This is the InBody score, or in short, it's called fitness score. So fitness score, 100 points is max, but there are some people who can more than 100 points. But for a very fit body, the score of 80 is ideal. Of course, if you can go more than 80, it is much better. So most of the people in the modern days are around 60 or 70, and there are some 50s. So it's just a general idea of how fit you are. So it's a calculation based on the body composition. So let's look at here. So the muscle and fat. This is the weight distribution. Your total body water, your protein, the minerals, and body mass. That means your total weight. This is your total weight, and how many percent or how much of the weight is consists of water, protein, and minerals, so on and so forth. It doesn't really mean a lot, but usually we are more focused on the other this section on the right hand side, which is here. You zoom in, it's called weight control. It tells you based on the comparison with big data and their algorithm. So based on your height, your age, and body condition, your target weight is listed here. For example, my weight was 72, my target weight is 71.3. So in order to achieve this ideal weight, I need to reduce or minus 0.7 kilos. And what contributes to this number is purely, in my case, is fat control. Because my muscle is sufficient, that's why it doesn't require me to add more muscle. For those of you who are lack of muscle or you have muscle wasting, you might see a plus sign here with certain numbers there, which means you do not have enough muscle. Let me show you some example later on. But before that, let's take a look at this section, muscle fat analysis. This is about your weight, your muscle, and fat, the distribution. It gives you an idea, a overall picture, is it in the good condition or not. So if you link these 3 bars together, the first bar is your weight, second bar is your muscle, the third bar is your fat. If you link it all together, it forms a shape. Usually this shape, it could form 3 letters. First is C, I, or D. So C stands for cautious. If your shape is a C shape, that means your weight and fat distribution or ratio is not so healthy, or you have to be cautious. That's why they use the C as a cautious. Or I means ideal, is perfect, ideal. Or if better than ideal is more developed, is D. So in my case, it's developed. So you have more muscle, because muscle is standing in the middle bar. So you have more muscle, it push it beyond the I line, so it becomes a D. So we don't ask for D, because it requires quite some effort. So even you can reach ideal is good enough. Alright, let's take a look. Okay, this is an example. A guy named Jonathan. He's 29 years old. Height 137. Just now the number is mine, my record. So this is 137, same height as me. Jonathan, same height as me. But you see his shape is C. Many of you, most likely it's a C type. So let's look at weight control of Jonathan. So his target weight is 67.1 because of his body composition. Even though his height is same as mine, 173, I'm 173 as well, but my target weight is 71.3. That's why it's not purely based on height. It's based on your overall health or muscle or fat situation at the current point. It calculates the ideal weight for you to achieve. Like Jonathan's case, he has, I mean his target is 67.1, but his current weight is 84.5. That means he's overweight by 17.4. He need to reduce 17.4 in terms of weight in order to achieve the ideal weight. I hope you get me. But for him, his control is mainly fat control. He need to minus fat about 7, or in another word, he has more fat, excess fat of 17.4 kilograms. So his muscle is sufficient because he's a camera guy. He always hold the camera gears. So his muscle is sufficient. In Chinese, we call 肥盛肌足. That means fat over, muscle sufficient. So that is Jonathan. Another guy is Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee is a guy as well, but his height is 172, about our height. So his ideal weight is even lesser, 65.1, but his current weight is 75.8. So on paper, it seems like, oh, he needs to reduce 10 kilos or 10.7 kilos. But in actual fact, he has 15.7 excess fat, too much fat. And at the same time, he has insufficient muscle. So you will see he needs to increase muscle. At the same time, he needs to reduce fat. This type of weight management is quite challenging compared to just purely lose fat, because you need to add weight in terms of muscle. At the same time, you need to reduce weight in terms of fat. So which is quite contradicting. I will discuss it in my Easy Fit workshop, but just to give you an idea of what you need to do in order to achieve the ideal weight. So this is Mr. Lee shape. Another example is my wife, Mrs. E. She's 158 in terms of height. So her ideal weight is 52.5. Her current weight is 45.1. So she's underweight. Underweight, she needs to add 7.4 kilos in terms of weight. But out of this 7.4 kilos, she wants to add 0.6 fat and mostly muscle. So for lady, usually especially modern lady, they don't have enough muscle because they don't carry much weight in the modern daily life. So in Chinese, we call it 肥缺鸡缺. That means no muscle, no fat. So she can eat all she can, but sometimes it just doesn't grow weight. There are many people like that. So I will discuss it in my other videos. But this video is mainly talking about how to interpret this report. So my wife also a C curve, but she's in the under zone. Just now Jonathan is the over zone. It's still C. As long as you are C, it means you have to be cautious. It means your weight distribution in terms of fat and muscle is not so healthy or not ideal. This is Jonathan. This is Mr. Lee. So my big question to you is, how deep is your C cup? Many of you who are watching this video, you look at this report, you say, I'm a C again. So don't feel bad because you are not alone. I would say 90% of the population in the modern life is mostly C. Okay, so this is my example. I'm already D in July 2023. In 6 months time, I increased my weight to 3 kilos. I was 72, now I increased to 75 within 6 months time. But you look at this, my weight increased, but my muscle increased, mainly increased my muscle, my fat stagnant. So my D become more prominent. This is what we're trying to achieve, to just push increase of muscle, but not too much of fat, or keep the fat maintained. This is how you keep a a nice body shape, because it's the muscle that gives you the contour. Okay, it's not about being slim, skinny. Too skinny, the bones being protruded is not healthy or not good looking as well. So it's like a walking stick. So that I have covered. Then look at the next section, which is obesity analysis. So you look at the BMI. This is a BMI. Like my case, my BMI is 24.1. It's already in the over zone. So what I'm trying to mention is BMI doesn't represent whether a person is fat or not if you have high BMI, because your weight could be contributed by muscle, but muscle gives you good shape. This is like my case, because look at BMI formula. This is a formula of BMI. You use weight over height. It doesn't take into consideration of fat. So I'll give you an example. Two guys having the same height, same weight, but it can have different shape. This one look better shape because it has out of his weight, 35% is muscle and 15% is fat. Well, for this guy, the shape is not so good looking or a bit plummy. Although both of them same height, same weight, they have the same BMI but different shape, because this guy has 35% fat and lesser percentage or 15% of muscle. That's why it gives you that shape. Why is like that? Because look at this. 1 pound, 5 pounds of fat, this size, this about bulky. 5 pounds of muscle is more dense and compact. That's why you want to gain weight in terms of muscle. Like for this lady, so when she's 64 kilos, she look a bit plummy, you see the flappy arm there. But when she's 66 kilos, she increased weight by 2 kilos, but she looks sexier, look healthier, because she gained muscle, and with more muscle, you can burn the fat. So this is why you need to understand. We shouldn't just look at weight, oh, I need to cut down my weight, because you need to watch out. Sometimes you lose weight, the weight you lost is muscle. When you lost muscle, you lose the shape, understand? So this gives you an idea of the, so that's why I said BMI alone, you cannot tell a person's shape. But combining BMI and PBF means percent body fat. If you give a number of your percent body fat, in my case is 15.8, which is within the normal zone. Many of you, the bar is beyond here. So it gives you an idea. So with combination of BMI and fat, I get an idea. I can have an idea of how a person shape like. So this I go across to the second page, which is body water. This page. Then we look at here. In this second page and the upper right corner, we don't talk about water first, but because I want the body type here. So look at the body type. So body type, I'm in the overweight zone. So, but overweight doesn't mean I'm fat. If I'm fat, I will be in the obesity zone. Because why? The x-axis is fat, whereas the y-axis is BMI. So, because I have high BMI, but less fat, it pushes the star here. Sometimes if I do diet and intensive workouts, I can put the star over in the athletic shape. Only once in the blue moon I will be in there. But I'm happy if my star is around this region. Not too fat, but just not too skinny, just nice enough. If your star is around this, the points around this region, good enough. So since I'm in page 2, I will talk about the relevant, because the objective of this video is to cover all aspects in this report. So I put this report down first. Okay, now, okay. So here, this is based on your weight or mainly your weight. If you do this kind of cardio exercise, mostly cardio exercise for 30 minutes, it burns how many calories. So it just gives you a reference that it doesn't mean much. Because I'm already page 2, I have to cover it. So that's all, explained, done. So now let's get back to page 1 here. Now let's look at here. Now, because now you know this thing. You know these two numbers, where you know whether you have excess fat or not. Now let's take a look here. If you have excess fat, you want to know where the fat is stored, because different fat you have to use different method to get rid of it. So now let's take a look at the visceral fat. Many people are concerned about the tummy or the belly, the big belly. So belly, you should understand there are 2 layers. The inner layers is called visceral fat. Are those fat with, between your intestine and your liver and your stomach, those fatty yellowish thing. So visceral fat, we shouldn't go beyond 100. If you want to have flat tummy or even 6 packs, you have to go around 40 to 50, around this region will be ideal. But too low, that means you are under fat, it's not so good as well. But keep it low enough at the lower border is perfect for your age. So you have to look at your range. But regardless of any age, if your visceral fat is more than 100, then it means you're over too much visceral fat already. If your star is beyond out in the space beyond this dark region, then very likely you are not only obese, but you might have fatty liver as well, based on the report I see before. So this is the inner fat is called visceral fat. The outer layer, which you can pinch it out or you can grab it, is called subcutaneous fat. So these are visceral fat. These are tummy, the fat in your, not tummy, your liver cells. So if you have fatty liver, you will see a white dots in your liver. So like this, I zoom out a bit clearer for you. So this is what we are trying to avoid. We don't want too much fat in your visceral region. And now let's take a look at subcutaneous fat. Because this machine is analyzed 5 regions. So let's take a look at 5 region. 5 region, your right arm, your left arm, which your arm cover this region, and then your trunk. Trunk is a big area, but mostly represent your tummy, even in terms of muscle or even fat. But fat mostly around tummy, but muscle it can cover the whole your back and the front, your abs muscle as well. So now we're talking about fat mostly this region, and also the fat around your leg, your thigh and your leg. So these are the fat distribution. We want to, these 2 lines is not for decor purpose, it has a reference. So you make sure this bar doesn't go beyond the second line. The second line, the number is 150%. If you go beyond, that means the number is more than 150% in terms of weight percentage. So if you have 150%, that means your weight in terms of percentage, you have more fat than muscle. That's why it use percentage as a representation. Many obese people, they can go up to 200, 300. I even seen 700. It's too much. So we want to keep it below 150. So these are visceral fat. So example, the fat stored between the muscle is still considered as visceral fat. Okay, now let's move on to, okay, next. So small section, but plays a very important message. Your basal metabolic rate means your metabolic rate when you are not exercise. Every day you burn the average, how much calorie you burn. So, and then it gives you a range based on your body size, how much calorie you should burn. If the number is not within the range, very likely, I would say, confirm you are overweight. Because your metabolism is slow, you cannot burn according to the to reach the target, so that to maintain a healthy weight. So you're outside the range, that means your metabolism, something about your body. One of the factors is insufficient muscle. Another factor, it could be dynamic, the inner dynamic. That will refer to the Chinese medicine department of my future videos explanation. So second is about, so you have to make sure this number within this range. Second is about SMI. SMI stands for skeletal muscle index. So for male, we have to go beyond, better be above 7.23. For women, 5.67. This one you just keep in mind first, because on third page, I will explain this again. So as long as you are not below these numbers, so, and you are, that means your muscle is sufficient. If your number is below this number, you consider sarcopenia. That means, sarco means muscle, penia means insufficient muscle. So you make sure this number is beyond these two range numbers. Okay, next we look at the muscle. In this region, we talk about the lean. Lean means lean muscle. Lean muscle, look at the distribution. So this is your right arm, left arm, trunk, right leg, left leg. It gives you an idea, the distribution of your muscle. So this is the muscle on 2000, my muscle in 2023, July. This is when I test the number, you see July here. So my muscle, all in the normal zone, but my leg muscle, I have more muscle on my leg because I like to do hiking and do house chores and gardening and things. I carry heavy things, so all the weight load to my legs. So I have very strong leg. But after I work out, I mean, I mentioned 6 months I work out intensively. I build muscle, my chest muscle, which maintain until now. So this is my number. You look at the number. So it goes up. But when I work out on my leg as well. So my leg muscle increases. This is what we want. When you improve in terms of numbers, we want to purely see improvement in terms of muscle. So, okay, this is before. All right, now let's take a look at this section. We'll talk about later in the second page, the body water. So next we look at the last section is just a history record. So for those of you first time you scan this number, you only see this bar has number. So for easy future reference, if you lost this report in your hand, currently in your hand, it's okay. As long as you come to our shop, you key in your IC, our system can drag out the previous number and then let you see whether you're moving up or you're maintaining, or you increase or you go down. So you have a better picture of the overall idea. So I recommend not so soon, you're scanning not so tight. It means 6 months or maybe 1 year you scan once is good enough. Yeah. So this is page 1. Okay, the last section about these impedance number, these very spider looking things, actually it means nothing to many people. This is what we call raw data. Actually it means nothing. Only for scientists, they need to use this as to generate all the data. This is the data because the machine you stand on 170 consists of 8 frequencies. These 8 frequencies travel through your body, and this is how it measures or reverse engineer all the data to give us an idea how your body, the condition in your body. So this is how the machine, the different frequency travel through your cells. Because this is a basic internal environment layout. Your vein artery, the carrying blood, and the blood carry oxygen and nutrients to the cell, and the cell is immersed in the fluid we call the interstitial fluid. So the nutrients have to go through this fluid. This is a basic idea, the internal environment. Because the advantage of 970 is it gives you an idea of this. Because without this, you might not understand why some people lose weight easy, some people gain weight easy. So it tells us, it gives an idea. So where I will move in second page. So I just summarize what I have been covered, what I have covered. So these are the area I've covered. I covered the page 2, these 2 sections. Now let's take a look at page 2, the body water page. So to zoom in, let's take a look at the upper section first, the body water. So this is total body water in ICW, ECW. So you need to know, actually it's about water. In general, it measures the body, it separates the body in 2 sections in your body, the water in 2 sections, sorry. So there's water outside your cell, it's called extracellular water, ECW. Water inside the cell we call ICW, intracellular water. So this is a region that I mentioned just now. This is a cell. So this region is called ECW. This region within the cell we call ICW. That's why this number tells you something. You combine the ECW and ICW, you add up together, you get the total water in your body. So it doesn't mean much, but what we want to know is the ratio, which we'll talk later. But now let's take a look at the water distribution. Actually, if you look at this distribution, that means how much water is in your body is distributed. So if you compare this graph and compare with the one in the first page, talk about the muscle, you look at the pattern, actually it's similar. But actually, the reason is the muscle is a place where your body stores the water. Because muscle act like a sponge, it absorbs the water. For those who are lack of muscle, they don't have place to store the water. That's why when they drink water, the water easily go to urination. So those skinny people they know. When they drink too much water, they get dry easily because they don't have a reservoir. Our muscle act like a reservoir of water to hold the water. If you don't have enough muscle, you have no place to hold the water. The water you drink in will just go through your kidney and then get out. So now let's get back to here. And then okay, body water. Now I talk about the easy first. I explain those easy sections, the easy to explain first. Then only I talk about the final important thing on this page. Again, same as the page 1, it gives you a track record of your previous scan so you can know the trend. But only this title is all related to water. So yeah, that's all about this section. Alright, now we look at the main thing of this page, which is the ECW ratio analysis. The ECW ratio is a result. If you take your ECW, divide by the total water, then you get a ratio. This is this ratio. Or in terms of percentage, you times 100, you get, in my case, my ratio is 0.379. Or in other words, 37.9% of my water is outside the cell, which is within the healthy range. We cannot go more than 0.39 or 39%. So if you are close to 38.6 and or close to 39, that means you're slightly on the water retention, or in Chinese medicine we call dampness body condition. So it gives you an idea. This one gives you an idea is your environment is good or not. The higher the number, the not so good it is. The lower the number, not too low, just as long as in the healthy zone, then it's good enough. So now we look at this number, we combine with the SMI number I mentioned just now, the skeletal muscle index. So we combine these two, then we'll form a graph in page 3. Now let's look at page 3. You flip over to page 3, and then you look at this section on the lower section. So you see this tab. So this best result, bad result, monitor required worst result. It gives you an idea how well the quality of muscle is. Because muscle exercise, if your environment or the ECW ratio is good, that means the water circulation is good, your muscle get rid of the lactic acid is much better. So you have better quality of muscle. So it gives you an idea. So best result, if your dot is in the best result, then congratulations, your quality is good. This one is considered okay. Of course, those muscle builders is definitely on this region. Very seldom I see that. But most of the people I see, even including you might be around this line. For male, the line is higher. For female, it's 5.7. Just now remember the index, the male is 7.23, female is 5.79, right? It's actually based on this line. So if you have partner who is a lady, then or your opposite sex, then you compare this line. For male and female, actually it's different. But as long as it still break into 4 regions, we try our best to build our muscle in this region and closer to the upper right region, best result. So it gives you an idea the quality of your muscle. Now get back to page 2, talk about water. So just now this is the whole body water. Now let's break it down to different sections. Like I mentioned, this machine tends to break the region into 5 regions. Then it gives you an idea how well water distributed in your body, where is the problem or which area has more outside water retention or high ECW ratio. Mostly you will see trunk and left leg, especially female. If it's beyond below this line, the first you see two lines. First is slightly over. It is over. Definitely bad if you're over. Usually people with kidney disease or failed kidney, you will see that over. Or old people, old lady or old man, usually this bar will be high. But if you are mid-age, especially female, and you touches across this first line, that means your body is water retention. It could be due to the spleen factor, the kidney factor, or maybe overall qi dynamic is not good. Science cannot explain. So if you go blood test, it seems like everything okay, your liver okay, kidney okay, but you see this number is high and you are fat, then there's something you need to look for the Chinese medicine to diagnose whether it's due to kidney deficiency or spleen deficiency. Because science couldn't explain. This is a scientific number, but they cannot explain well why some people go up, but Chinese medicine can. So you look at this number, it gives you an idea. This is a healthy ratio. I give you a scenario. This is a healthy ratio, and unhealthy ratio is, like I mentioned, more than 3.39. So it could be due to two conditions. A person, the ECW ratio is more than 0.39. One is water retention. I don't know why this brutal thing is here, but it's called retention. So that means the cell is same size, but the water outside is more, which resulted in a higher ECW. This is what we call water retention. In Chinese medicine, we call 水肿. Or it could be due to dampness, or even dampness or 水肿. And another condition is called yin deficiency. Means, look at here first. Look at here first. Look at the size of the external water is about the same. The volume is about the same. But what makes this number go high? Because the cell is smaller. If you compare, the cell is smaller, which means your cell doesn't absorb the water. It doesn't. It's nothing wrong with the outside circulation, mainly related to your lymphatic. But in this case, nothing wrong with the lymphatic. Just that the cell doesn't absorb the water. So it could be due to membrane or due to some other factor. The body cell mass is not there to hold the water. There are multiple reasons, but in Chinese medicine, it's called yin deficiency. Usually people have this number, they are not fat, they are skinny. They're skinny, no matter how much they eat, they just doesn't grow weight. So this is what we observe through years of observation or reading this kind of reports. I noticed it can correlate to Chinese medicine. Okay, then we convert this number into the third page. You see the third page on the upper right corner, you see a human shape. So actually they bring the water number, the ECW ratio, convert into a human shape and give you an idea which part of your body the water is dispersed outside the cell. As long as it doesn't touch the line, it's fine. Usually, very athletic person or very healthy male, you will see a very small square. Mine is considered small, but when I do this scan, I did intensive training days before. So it's due to the lactic acid buildup. It holds the water. It holds water. That's why it's just a temporary factor. But most of the time, the female, if you don't have intensive exercise or you don't have injury, then you go for this InBody scan, you notice this number is way beyond. That means there's something wrong in your, we call the organs or 五脏六腑 dynamics. And this Chinese medicine means your qi dynamic is not healthy. So I cover page 2. Now left page 3. Let's look at page 3. But before I discuss about page 3, which talk about the healthiness of your cell, I need to explain about the basic structure of your cell. So this is your cell. And this small tiny little thing is called mitochondria. I have this Bluetooth logo block here because I'm using phone to record this video. So this Bluetooth, because this mic, I think should be this mic. So the mitochondria is this mitochondria, and this is cytosol. Cytosol is the cell region. So this is the basic structure. Another structure is cell, and then outside cell there's a membrane. So this membrane is your healthy cell has healthy membrane. Healthy membrane means a cell is healthy. What I'm trying to say is this one. Okay, now look at this region, this body phase angle. Phase angle is a measurement because it's 50 Hz, 50 kilohertz. Just now I mentioned there are 8 frequencies run through your body. So one of the frequency, these 50 kilohertz, they only specifically run along the membrane. If your membrane integrity is good, you get a better number of this phase angle. So this phase angle, we look at, we usually, the score is here, my score is 6.4. So, and actually it doesn't mean much for those people who don't know about phase angle and things. It doesn't mean much to you or mean much to me. But what I want to know, like in my case, I want to know, okay, 6.4, what does it mean 6.4? I just want to know, am I healthy or not? Is my cell healthy for male around my age? So then apple to apple comparison, right? Malaysian. Okay, apple to apple comparison. So this is statistic comparison. If you look at the general, there's two ways to look at the statistic. One is the easy direct. As long as I'm close to the dark line, that means my cell is healthy. Means a lot for my age, 43 years old. For the population, my age, most of them in the dark line here. So means my cell is healthy. Because these are not random numbers. This graph is not randomly generated. It's collected through InBody, huge database. They use this database from Asian and Caucasian. They mix a very even numbers. That's why they generate this graph as a comparison. So another way to look at it is the Z-score. If you do bone density test, they use Z-score as well. Z-score has no unit because it's a statistic comparison. And you have to understand Z-score through this normal distribution. What do you mean by normal distribution? It's for my age, 43 years old male. I distribute the score, the phase angle score in this graph. You will see most of the people at here adjusted to the standard distribution is called 0. Most of the people at the 0 point. Mine is 0.2, right? So you saw 0.2. That means I'm at the population normal range. But if your score is 0, let's say 0, negative 0.1, 0.5, but your population normal is here, that means you deviate from your population normal by this much. That's why don't underestimate one number, I mean one digit. So if you're negative 3, that means your deviation is very far away. Your cell is not healthy. Of course, if you are positive 3, then congratulations. You are much better than this group of population, same age, same sex as you. So now you understand. That's why we look at this one. It's more meaningful. As long as we are close to 0, at least 0, that means your cell is healthy according to your age or sex standard. So you get it, right? So this is about the healthiness of your cell, the vibrancy of your cell, how active it is, how happy it is. So many factors contribute to it, so maybe I will talk about in the future videos. But remember this, why not this is your sleep quality affects it, your emotion affects this number, and then your lifestyle. If you are active, then your score is good. If you are not active, your score not so good. Sleep not well, not so good. And then emotion always depressed, unhappy, your score usually negative. This is what I have been observed after observing thousands of this kind of report of thousands of cases. Okay, next move on the last section, the body cell mass. The body cell mass means the mass of your body, the cell. Again, we take a look straight away look at Z-score. My Z-score, as long as Z-score positive, then okay, you are in the normal zone. Mine is 0.4. So what does it mean by body cell mass? This is cell membrane, I mentioned already, it's phase angle. Now we look at the mass inside your cell. So this is called body cell mass. So this number represents whether is it compact or not? Your cell, is it healthy or not? Is it nutrition or not? Or the nutrition, is it sufficient or not? If it's sufficient, it can absorb water. Of course, your muscle will be bulk. Yeah, in Chinese medicine, you always correlated to your spleen and stomach, or in another word, your digestive ability, or your ability to absorb and convert the food you eat into your body size. So if you doesn't grow muscle, or you find your muscle is very hard to grow and your body cell mass score is negative, then you should look for Chinese medicine to regulate or 调理 your 脾胃. Very often this is what we have been observing. So all in all, these are the 3 pages, the main things you need to pay attention to. Yeah. I think I pretty much cover all of it. So in page 1, hold on, I'm jumping too fast. Okay, muscle, page 1 talk about muscle and your fat. Page 2 about your internal environment, the water. The page 3 is about your cell, the state of your cell, the healthiness of your cell, the vibrancy and the mass or the nutrition. Is it nutrition or not? So last and not least, it gives you an understanding. This is muscle. First, that's why page 1 is a superficial. How well is your muscle? How well built you are? How much tummy fat you have? This is page 1 tells you. But it's building on the internal environment and the state of your cell. If you only focus on your muscle and fat, but you neglect the underlying issues. If it has abnormality or deviation, if you don't work on here and you keep on go for gym and control your diet, you won't get any result. Or even if you get result, it doesn't last long. Just like you try to chop off the tip of the iceberg and then the iceberg will grow again. So because they have to deal with the underlying problem. That's why there's 3 pages means a lot. That's why we invest in the 970 and you pay 60 ringgit to this scan, you get a better understanding, which is worthwhile. So if you want, you can do a half yearly or yearly check. If you do something actively trying to change the internal environment. If you decide to do nothing, come on, don't waste your money lah. Your number will be about the same. Alright, so that's all about the InBody's report interpretation. I hope it helps you to understand what this report means to you. Alright, thank you. Bye-bye.